small class today. I think it might be a good idea that we kind of open this up for questions that you guys might have regarding mortgage financing. There might be things that, you might be thinking about that you need answers to, you're not sure. This could be a great opportunity. Oh, and we have Dan coming on as well. Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Hey.
How are you? So, today I just kind of right now I want to give you a quick overview of interest rates. Right now, they're still incredibly low, under 3% on a 30-year fixed, and 15-year fixed, mid twos to low twos, right? So the beauty is that, as far as people qualifying for houses, I don't think you're going to find an affordability index like you're going to find it today, right? Many people out there that are renting, when they start comparing what they could buy a house for right now, it really makes sense to make that transition because, I was looking at yesterday, I was looking at interest rates in the last 25 years. I think it was it might have been 1982 where rates were like 15%, right? So
Gosh, it's insane.
Think about, the amount that they could have qualified for then compared to what they can qualify for today. What a huge difference. And I think we got to kind of make that, bring that awareness to a lot of buyers, because there are some buyers out there that think rates, are going to be at 3% forever, right? And they might just be used to 4%, 5% and under. But God only knows what can unfold in the near future. So the one thing that I could tell you is that based on reports that I'm reading and I'm hearing, it probably is not going to be too long before you start seeing the rates creep up. And I would think probably by the new year, you're going to see them a little bit higher. The Federal Reserve has been talking about trying to, bring these rates up a little higher. They're starting to see how inflation is, basically affecting the marketplace, and they want to prevent that from happening. So, it's a wait and see kind of process, but more so than not, they're trying to probably pursue raising rates as we move forward. In regards to programs, do any of you have questions regarding any of the programs that you hear about, whether it's a first-time buyer program? Do you have questions regarding FHA programs, VA, renovation? Like I said, it's such a small group that we do have time to kind of answer questions and kind of, highlight, information that could be important to you. So I'm going to open it up right now to you guys. Anything you want to learn about, anything you have questions on? Nope.
Okay, time's up. Okay, I'm going to reiterate something he said about the renting versus buying. So don't forget, we have this great thing called MBS Highway here at Movement. We can do customized rent versus buy and the cost of waiting, which are basically customized to something like you want to present to a buyer and show them what they're paying in rent, what they can afford in a house, what it goes up, and the rent goes up every year. So it's a great tool to get those buyers off the fence. And it's something in front of them. It can be co-branded, which is great. I've done them for Marlene. I did quite a few for her. It's a great tool to show them, hey, you're paying this in rent, and you could possibly buy a home for something similar to what you're paying rent. So that's very important. If you guys ever need something like that, reach out to me, Dan, or Alex. Dan is a renovation expert. He is in our Morristown office with me and Alex. So don't hesitate to reach out when it comes to that. As far as there's something else I was going to say, but you mentioned something else about rates. So rent versus buy, the cost of waiting.
Well, I don't know what you think about it. Dan, is there anything you want to share regarding the rental process?
I mean, our process here it's great. I mean, we have a whole entire dedicated team that just focuses on processing and underwriting. Very fortunate that, I can even call head of processing, head of underwriting on their cell phone, even on the weekends, if you really just have a question and need to get something answered. Doing it long enough, there's very few situations I haven't run across. So, but yeah, any questions you have, the difference between, what's the difference between the 203K versus a home style? And you can use it on investment properties, second homes. So and the rates on those, piggyback on rates, the rates on a renovation loan on a primary purchase, conforming limit, you're in the low threes. So you're really not that far off. So if you have that client that's out there looking at homes and they're just, struggling. I just got off the phone with an agent said to me today that she had a client that's probably going to, put it on pause. Well, let's maybe open up their eyes to other loan programs like the renovation loan, where you're not putting it on pause and you're just getting a deal done. So.
Yeah.
Well, I want to reiterate on that. A lot of you guys don't know, and I want to reiterate it because I still have agents 20 years in the business that don't understand the renovation. Renovation loan is when you can renovate the home and add the renovations to the cost of the house. It's not two loans, it's not two closings. So everybody thinks it's separate. It's a very easy process. You add the renovations to the sales price and it's one deal. And then after you close, agents get paid and then movement works with the renovation budget. So you guys need to start selling that vision. I'm seeing a lot more renovation, people asking me about renovation because the market's so hard and everybody wants a turnkey. So people are more open to it. I have people interested that you can renovate just the kitchen. You can say, oh, well, I need just new appliances. There's so much you can do. So as realtors, selling that vision and getting yourself a deal is really amazing. So that's where you come in and ask me, Alex or Dan, especially Dan, because he's excellent at renovations. That's all he does. And, he makes the process really, really smooth. I've worked on now my second loan with Dan, and he really does make it a great process. So don't hesitate to try to push those clients and show them some houses that maybe need a little work and get their mind open to it because you're going to get more deals that way.
So as a preferred lender in your office, how are we of value to you guys, right? Like where do we step in and say, Christina, how can I help you, right? Marlene, how can I help you? Paul, the same thing. So the purpose is to try to help you make more transactions take place. Now, in order to make that happen, basically, we need to get your clients properly pre-qualified, right? Pre-approved. We want to make sure that when you're dealing with somebody that has an interest in buying a house, that we do our due diligence to make sure that they're eligible. And we'll pretty much exhaust every possibility that we can think of to try to get them into the house. So if somebody comes in and their income is not high enough, we're going to talk to them about getting a cosigner. Maybe we might talk to them about paying off some debt. Maybe we might talk to them, about, looking at a first-time buyer program that can expand the debt to income ratio so they can qualify for a little more. So our value is, how do we help you put another transaction into place, right? And how do we save time for you? Because there are a lot of times you might get a client that wants to go look at houses and maybe they're really not ready to buy a house right now, right? Their credit score might not be high enough. They might not have enough saved. And maybe they might be wasting your time. We want to eliminate that. We know how important it is. You're on 100% commission. We know how important it is and valuable your time is, right? So our key is to try to be a partner with you. We want to partner with you. We want to help you. We want to guide your client and hopefully guide you. You learn a little bit more by working with us sharing the programs that we have, right? Because an important lender not only has good interest rates, but a good lender also has many options. And the more options that we have, that's going to pretty much create a fish net for you to capture more fish, right? The more options we have, the more people we can put under contract. And that's where Movement Mortgage is pretty strong, right? Having a great array of products to help more people get into homes. So utilize us, ask us questions about what we can offer. And hopefully in time, you're going to learn by doing these classes, you're going to learn a little bit more about each program that we can offer and help you become just, more educated on the subject.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know I don't know that this is a mute question because I think I know the answer to this, but is there anything we can offer a buyer today like a bridge loan? Because people are afraid to sell thinking they're not going to be able to buy something.
Right. So not everybody really requires a bridge loan because there's always a misconception that, all right, I want to sell my house. I'm going to net $100,000 and I want to use that $100,000 to buy my next house. Right. Sometimes if somebody just has the 5% to put as a down payment to buy the house that they want to buy, okay, if they could possibly qualify. I've had a lot of people that have qualified with a minimum down payment on the house they want to buy and carrying 2 mortgages, right? Sometimes they're
Is that still a thing, bridge loans? Those are still
You know, they might be some places, but a lot of lenders don't offer it. So you would have to find, a lender that does.
It's very hard, Christina. I
But-
tried to find people for my
Yeah.
agents.
But I could tell you, there are many ways to try to put a deal like that together, right? Like take,
Okay.
for instance, in this case, let's say I put 5% down on the house I want to buy and I qualify for that mortgage, right? And I qualify paying my mortgage if I have one. Sometimes people are selling and they don't have a mortgage on their current house. But let's say I qualify for both. But my goal is that I really wanted to put $100,000 down. I just couldn't do it until I sold my house. Well, when the client does that, we have what's called a recast option, which means that when they do get that money, they can take that money and pay down their mortgage and we'll reset their mortgage payment through that recast process. Okay?
Okay.
There are certain times that people don't qualify to carry two mortgages, all right? So then at that
Right.
moment, how do we look at that? What can we do at that point? Maybe it's to get a cosigner for the time being because this is the only option they have. Maybe they need to rent out their house, right? Maybe we need to offset their current mortgage that they have, and the only way of doing that might be by renting out their house, right, for the time being, right? Now, a rental doesn't have to be for a year. They could do a month-to-month rental. So if somebody's, let's say, hey, I'm trying to sell my house, but I want to do a month-to-month rental, we'll take a month-to-month rental, right?
I guess the problem is not selling the house. The problem is getting a new house because of the competition and then,
That's where, right, and that's where you have to, and that's where we got to be creative because they have to make an offer that's non-contingent. That means that we have to get them to qualify without them selling their house. And that's why I'm mentioning these things because these are ways
Okay.
that I've helped people qualify without selling their house and do a non-contingent offer.
I have a
Okay.
very, very good story. Two buyers. They didn't qualify on conventional to carry both mortgages, but they did with FHA. So the agent presented, first of all, I always tell my agents how they're pre-approved. We go right to underwriting, which is helping me get a lot of contracts. I have two buyers now that basically I put in writing. They're not contingent with conventional, but if their house doesn't sell, which it will, because both houses are under contract already, their sale of their house is already under contract. Because in this market, a decent house does not stay on. So I basically said, listen, if God forbid their house does not sell, they are contingent on the FHA loan, and that's our backup plan. And I got both offers accepted because of my upfront underwriting, you guys know we do. And
Yep.
with everything, being fully approved and giving my word that this is gonna go smoothly. This is how I'm getting contracts. I am fighting for my buyers. I'm having buyers, agents copy me on emails. And this is the second deal I did. And both of those houses went under contract and it's all working out. And they don't even need the contingency anymore because they're a pending sale. But talking about being creative, instead of going conventional, I basically said, well, the backup is they don't have to sell it if they go FHA, which hasn't had to happen, but it's always about figuring it out for everyone involved to make sure it goes smoothly and to have that backup plan. So it works
Thank-
sometimes. It works.
Thank you.
I just wanted to touch base on a couple things. Number one, please guys, don't forget about their upfront underwriting. It's priceless and it really is how I'm winning a lot of bidding wars because I'm making the effort, Christine, making the effort in emailing agents and telling them, the full approval and all that stuff. On top of it, we do something that I don't know any lender does is tax returns. We're doing a pre-approval process. Even before I pre-approve someone, if someone's self-employed, I get their taxes. I get everything and I get it for free, analyzed by our underwriting to make sure we have accurate income. The reason for that is people say all the time they make $1 million, but after expenses and everything, they net maybe $100,000. They don't understand that concept. So I explained to the buyers, I can get it analyzed for free. I had one gentleman had 100 pages for 2 years. And within 24 hours, I had to analyze and I qualified him properly. Most lenders won't do that. And then later in the process, that's where it falls apart. We specialize in doing everything up front. I have never had a deal fall apart, knock on wood, because of Movement's process, which I'm really proud of. I'm sure Dan can say the same. The process is unbelievable we have. You want to add anything? Oh, Dan left. Bye, Dan. What happened to Dan? I just said something about Danny left. And also don't forget, guys. So if you guys have a buyer, and I've even done this for people who weren't sure if their buyer would qualify, I just get I get their taxes analyzed and then I say, okay, we're ready to move forward with the pre-approval. And also is our condo. Our condo we do upfront approvals on condos. If you have a person who's pre-approved by me and is interested in a condo and you're not sure if it's more, if it's approvable, all I gotta do is put in the address. We, for free, will approve or not approve. We will look into approving that condo at our cost, and the buyer only pays if he goes under contracts and closes on that property. Otherwise, now we have it approved for future purchases. I don't know any lender who does that. And I just had a buyer come to me who at the end of they do it a lot at the end. And the deal fell apart because the condo wasn't Fannie Mae approved. So this is the stuff we do, guys. So condos are a huge benefit to us, as you guys, for us to help you with that too, to get the deal accepted. I got 2 condos in the last 2 months because I can do that condo upfront approval over other bids that had more down payment. So it's what you can offer. And we got to be strategic of how we make that offer happen for you guys.
That's good.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay,
Do you guys do co-op loans?
yes. I'm doing one now.
So a co-op has to be approved. So we have an approval list of the co-op. So you just kind of get us the name of the co-op and we'll check. And if it's on the list, we should be good to go.
I actually just submitted a co-op, Marlene. So-
Okay, that's great. Great to know.
We'll find out right away if there's any
Okay.
issues with the co-op.
Okay.
Okay, so Marlene, we need to have lunch. Is any other questions, Paul, anybody, before we sign off? No, okay, well, we will see you guys at your sales rallies on Thursday and Friday. We're excited to see you guys in person, and you guys have a fabulous day.
Take care.
Thank you. Have a great day,
Bye,
guys.
thanks. Bye.